Leicester City let slip away yet another victory that seemed within their grasp. A bitter 1-1 draw with Portsmouth rekindled doubts about what was happening with Martí Cifuentes' team, especially in the second half, when the team simply stopped playing the engaging football they had shown before halftime. And what irritates fans most is that this story is already becoming routine. From the 20th minute until halftime, Leicester played their best football of the season. Quick exchanges, purposeful possession, precise movement. It was a team that seemed poised to dominate the championship. But once again, City lived on flashes. They played well for a while, but not enough to secure the 3 points. The similarity to the match against Wrexham is unavoidable. The team started in control, but allowed their opponent to get back into the game. Cifuentes had already said that the team was a little arrogant in that draw, and the boos at the end of the match against Portsmouth showed that the fans believe nothing has changed. The coach, however, sees it differently. For him, the problem wasn't attitude, but tactics. In the second half, Portsmouth moved their lines forward and created space behind the defense. Cifuentes brought on Patson Daka precisely to exploit this space. And the plan made sense. After all, the Zambian has plenty of pace. But the team didn't follow the coach's plan. They continued to insist on short touches, safe passes, and didn't risk the long balls that could have put Daka in front of goal. "That's why we brought Pato on to use his pace," said Cifuentes. But we didn't use his pace, and the coach went further. He explained that football is about space, and that space, at that moment, was behind the defense. The problem is that Leicester chose safety over boldness, and paid dearly for it. Despite the frustration, the first half offered a glimpse of what this Leicester side can be. Harry Winks, Jordan James, and Aaron Ramsey formed a midfield that worked like a Swiss watch. It was 25 minutes of intensity, intelligence, and technique. City had 10 shots in that period, compared to just 1 for their opponent. Ramsey scored his first goal in a blue jersey, Fatawu provided an assist and showed a variety of play, and James was tireless, creating space and helping with transitions. It was the kind of football that excites, that makes fans believe this team can compete at the top. Despite strong individual performances, Leicester's attack remains lacking. Carranza started and had some good moments, but he wasn't really a threat. Cifuentes describes him as a striker somewhere between Daka and Ayew in style. Not as fast as the Zambian, nor as technical as the Ghanaian. He helps with pressing and build-up play, but lacks presence in the box. And the fact is simple. When the center forward doesn't scare the opponent, the team loses momentum. Cifuentes insists that the important thing is the collective scoring, but the truth is that none of the 3 forwards have convinced so far. If this doesn't change quickly, the board will almost certainly look for a top scorer on loan in January. Cifuentes stated that the team felt the weight of the international break. Players like Ayew, Daka, and De Cordova-Reid returned from long trips and were tired. But then the question arises, why not use those who were rested? Silko Thomas was on the bench, a youngster who impressed the club and could bring new energy. Jake Evans has been flying in the U21s. Louis Page is also a name that has been tipped for promotion, but no one has been used, and the fans feel it. Seeing the same old names, many of them marked by relegation campaigns, take the field and nothing changes is disheartening. With a large squad and emerging talents from the academy, Leicester can't blame fatigue. What they lack is the courage to give chances to those who want to prove themselves. The draw with Portsmouth leaves a bitter taste, but it also shows that Leicester has the potential for much more. Those 25 minutes of dominance need to become the norm, not the exception. Cifuentes needs to adjust his plan and perhaps be more daring with his selections. Because if he continues to rely on the same names and the same excuses, City will continue to play well for a while and draw in the end. And for the fans, the question remains, who would you put in charge of Leicester's attack if it were Cifuentes?